Marvelous. It's a tough time for Chicago sports fans. And we appreciate that the amazing sports fan joins the only Chicago sports show on Sunday nights here on WCPT 820 AM. It's the Sports Cubicle with Dan Marver, Devin Tingle, Paul Chivari, and myself, Mike Mercado. And I think the crust of a lot of our, anxiety as sports fans, a lot of our anger, frustration, sadness happens at the lakefront, soon to be in Arlington Heights, over at Halisol, and that is the Chicago Bears. And I was actually looking around the interweb, getting stuff ready for the show as we do, and something hit us on Twitter at Sports Cubicle TV. And that was the Sports Mockery, something run by Eric Lambert, I believe, who is connected, tied in the media, does a lot of information about local sports. And he said that he talked to two different sources in the NFL that believe that yours, the Chicago Bears, will only win 2 games this season. So then I went and did a little bit more research, and on the Action Network, they have it right now at the Bears over-under at 6.5. So that's a big, even though that's a bad record, 6 wins, it's a big discrepancy between 2 wins and anywhere from 5 to 7 wins. So again, we did the schedule thing. We did the win-loss. It's a lot of fun. We get it. Things are going to happen in training camp in just a few weeks. Guys are going to get hurt. We know that a team that was in first place will end up in last, and a last place will end up in first. I don't think that's going to happen in the NFC North, but 2 wins, Marvelous? That's a little crazy, right? Like, it's hard to only win 2 games in the NFL.
Seahawks, maybe. 2 wins. I mean, even in the division, they should get at least 1 or 2.
You would think, right? You're going to win 1 for sure.
Yeah, well, it's crazy. I think that, honestly, the elites and premium and well-known positions of the offense are what they are. But here's the key. Here's the names that I'm looking for. Tackles, Larry Borum and Tevin Jenkins. Guards, Cody Whitehair, Sam Mustipher. Center, Lucas Patrick, the probable starters. Is that enough so that Fields is going to survive? That's the question in my mind. So if he has enough time to do what he did behind probably the offensive line at Ohio State was probably a better offensive line than the Bears have, honestly. So I'm assuming that he's going to have enough time to do what he needs to do, but he has a tendency, and he seems to be getting better at it, to want to make a play when things are breaking down, and ends up taking a sack, or he doesn't throw the ball out of bounds, and he's got to improve on that, particularly if he's running for his life. But the offensive line still is a concern of mine. They still have some weapons. I mean, I'm not crazy about about their entire offensive scheme the way it is now. We'll have to see what this new guy does. Give him a chance. In terms of a new regime, a new coaching staff, I'll be interested to really see how it pans out. But it's another rebuild, like you say. It's a Blackhawks rebuild for sure. Cubs rebuild, Bears rebuild. I mean, and maybe pretty soon it'll be the Sox rebuild too.
Well, we'll see. I think that's going to be determined by how they finish up this weekend against Minnesota. It's a lot of it all circles around Justin Fields. That's it. I know a lot of people are worried that you bring in Matt Eberflus, which means that if this offense is fixed and Justin Fields is good, you're going to lose the offensive coordinator because this is the guy that figured out how to fix the Bears offense. But the theory behind that is, as long as you have the quarterback behind it, that's the system. He'll install the system over and over and over again because he's figured out the system that works for him. And I think the Bears are doing the thing that Cincinnati did. You do need offensive line help. They almost killed Joe Burrow 2 different times. Heck, he did get injured already playing for the Bengals. But they did the thing that you get him the weapons. What's the point of having the nuclear weapon if you can't launch it? And that's the thing about Joe Burrow, is like, he's a nuclear weapon. He is the big red button. If you need to win a game, Patrick Mahomes is that guy. Aaron Rodgers is that guy. Is Justin Fields that? I don't know. I like to listen to the guys who, like yourself, Marv, you're a scout. Then you listen to somebody like Chris Sims, right? Who played in the NFL, comes from a family, was really hard on Justin Fields. Has kind of now turned and been like, look at, he makes a special play. He does have accuracy. He is able to control the pocket. He needs weapons. He needs help. He needs to be able to stay clean. His jersey can't be so damn dirty. That's the thing about Justin Fields. And I think that trade that they made for N'Keal Harry over from New England was a big trade. I don't know how good he is going to be, but that's a first rounder that you were able to get for a 7th round pick. You're giving Justin Fields more weapons. At the end of the day, when we're talking about a team only winning 2 games, you have to be really bad. You have to be 0-16 Lions bad, 0-16, 1-15 Cleveland Browns bad. This team isn't that. You're in a division against Minnesota and against Detroit. Let me ask you, how confident are you with Detroit? Even though they do have, or Minnesota, let's go Minnesota more specifically, with Justin Jefferson and Dalvin Cook. This is a team that has 2 of the top players in their own positions. They're never going to do anything coming out of the NFC North. You're going to win a lot. You're going to luck into a lot of games. I think the Bears are going to surprise people. I don't think they're going to, and more than anything, Bears fans, think about it this way. If you don't believe in statistics that they're going to surprise a team here or there, somebody's going to fall down to the pack, somebody's going to rise from the top of the cream. Guys, this is the Chicago Bears. They are not smart enough or lucky enough to end up with the number 1 draft pick. And even if they do, let's go down that road, Marvelous. Let's say the Bears do end up with only 2 wins. And somehow they're able to come over and leap Jacksonville and Seattle and Houston and all these other teams for the number 1 pick. They're not going to pick a quarterback because they still need to figure out what they have with Justin Fields. And that's all this comes down to. So let's go down this other scenario, the Marvelous one. What if Justin Fields is the truth? What if he's a top 15 quarterback? How many wins can the Bears get this season with a Justin Herbert-esque season from Justin Fields? I know, as crazy as it is, let's say you do have the next goods. Let's say you do have that dude, and it starts next season. Can you win 6-7 games? You're not going to be 500. You're not going to go to the playoffs. But can Justin Fields, a good Justin Fields, win 6 games for the Chicago Bears?
17 games, and now it's 2-15 you're talking about. I mean, at the beginning with San Francisco, Green Bay, Houston, and Giants, I think that, they could get 1 out of that, possibly. And then they go Minnesota, Washington, New England, Dallas. I can see some wins. Miami, Detroit, Atlanta, Jets. So I think they already have more than 2 wins. Green Bay, Philadelphia, Buffalo, Detroit, and then Minnesota. I mean, I can't see where there would be 2 out of that whole schedule. I mean, they ought to win a game or 2 in the division, for sure. And they could probably pop a couple, other against the opponents, one of the New York teams, Washington, that kind of thing. Probably not Buffalo, but I don't know. 5 and 6, 5 or 6, maybe maximum. Maybe so. We'll give them a break. We'll take the average be 2 and 6, 4.
There you go. Okay, can a 4-win season be fun? I think that's the big thing, right? Like, we know that they're not going to be good. And we know it's all about the development of Cole Kmet, Dave Montgomery, Khalil Herbert, Justin Fields, Harry. Like, we know what it is. Can you be entertained if the Chicago Bears win only 4 games? Is that possible for you, for the fan base?
Yeah.
If this is a team that isn't able to win more than 5 games, like, can that be fun still? Can you think you could see that where, okay, I'm enjoying watching Bears football though?
It depends upon how competitive they are in the games, in my opinion. I mean, I don't think that they'll all be blowouts. Even when you look at last year, I mean, they weren't really, they were competitive in a lot of games. So if they're competitive and they're entertaining, whatever that means, I think that would be enough to keep fans' interest. I mean, they're going to be still the national media and such. I mean, the Washington game is a national game even. Go figure, as long as you get Amazon Prime. But I think what they're going to do is they're going to actually broadcast the Thursday games into the local market and a local channel. So, but so in any event, they still have some marquee value, not on marquee TV, but marquee value on on the national stage. But I just like with the Cubs, I don't see them as a playoff team right now. So that's a problem, and that's the goal, obviously, to be a playoff team and beyond. And they need to get enough weapons and enough protection for their quarterback to do so. I mean, do you think that they're going to do 6 wins? I mean, I don't. I mean, in your opinion, do you think they're going to be entertaining? They could be, but that's because the diehard Bear fans like the diehard Cubs fans, right?
I will tell you this. If Justin plays like he did against the Pittsburgh Steelers, win or lose, doesn't matter. You play like you did on that second half of Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
like you did against Pittsburgh at Pittsburgh,
Yeah.
you can win 2 games for all I care.
Yeah.
That shows me that you belong, that you just need the proper tools. And now it's back to what it's always been back to. Can management and ownership take care of what they're supposed to take care of? Can they stop resting on their laurels like you're talking about and taking advantage of the Bears fandom and being the charter franchise? Are you done playing and being the Ford family? And do you want to be like what Robert Kraft did? That's the real question. I'm with you on that.
And it's just a shame they don't play Pittsburgh this year so we could compare them with Mitch.
Again, don't worry. We'll get plenty of that as we went on. You know what? Here's the thing, though. I think you hit it right on the head. It's all about the entertainment. It's all about how good they are. But here's the thing. The patience is wearing thin. 3 rebuilds in Chicago. 3. You have the Blackhawks. You have the Cubs. You have the Bears. The White Sox are on thin ice right now. So shout out to the Chicago Sky. Shout out to WNBA who had the All-Star game here, of course. Candace Parker, one of the greatest Chicago athletes ever, one of our favorites ever, doing the dang thing. And, of course, Allie Quigley. And it was just really cool to see all the DePaul love, all the Chicago love, all the Sky love. And shout out to the Chicago Bulls being interesting, being good, because God knows that if any of our winter teams are not going to be good, at least we know that on the basketball court, we're going to have 2 teams that are going to keep us entertained. But with that marvelous one, we will get ready to get our hearts, our souls, our bodies to be broken and to be hurt and disappointed, because training camp is around the corner, my friend. Quarterbacks are reporting. The teams are getting together. Baby, we are heading to Hallis Hall. Let us know your thoughts. What do you think the Chicago Bears season will end in total wins? Will they only win 2 games? Will they end up with the number 1 pick? Or will they do what most teams in the NFL do, and that's just end up pretty much in the middle of the pack? We want to know.
Or they win as many preseason games as regular season games.
Oh, there we go. There's a show bet. Who wins more, the preseason Bears or the regular season Bears this coming up season? We're on Twitter at Sports Cubicle TV. It's the marvelous one, Dan Marver. It's Devin Tingle. It's Paul Chivari. I'm Mike Mercado.